You won't believe what I'm about to tell you. After David stepped into the cockpit, he accidentally turned off the camera and walked further inside. David found a control panel with mysterious oval buttons. He fiddled with them and accidentally activated the engineer's last secret. It was a holographic playback of the engineer in the pilot's seat manipulating buttons, while David marveled at the advanced technology. Suddenly, the entire cosmic star map unfolded, leaving him dumbfounded like a little kid. The engineer activated the navigation, locking onto a blue asteroid. David couldn't help cradling the familiar ancient Earth. Yet the hologram disappeared. The engineer was launching the spaceship with black goo to Earth an unexpected journey. An accident killed the other giants, and the ship remained. Surprisingly, a breathing engineer lay in the sleep pod. David smiled knowingly, hinting at the upcoming revelation of humanity's link with its creators. Elsewhere, Strong Brother was in trouble. He was exhausted. Vickers, fearing infection, blocked him outside with a flamethrower. Strong Brother knew he was no longer human. To avoid dragging innocent others into his plight, he resolutely sought a path with no return. Nevertheless, that pitiful little lamp continued to flicker at the doorway, seemingly guiding him and longing for his return to the once comforting warm embrace. But alas, he was merely drifting through dreams, bitterly reminiscing about the past. He didn't dare to ask whether it was all real or just a dream. The flowing years were gone, never to return. People often ask me if I believe in this world, but in moments like this, I just want to escape. When Sean finally woke up, he found himself lying on the medical table. David scanned him and discovered he was 3 months pregnant. What a surprise. Sean was dumbfounded. It had been less than 12 hours since he was with Strong Brother, and he was infertile. David knew the black goo from last night was the culprit. To facilitate research, he administered anesthesia to Sean. Sean wasn't foolish. He pretended to faint. When sent to the cryopod, he burst with energy. He knocked out 2 colleagues and fled. At that moment, sharp pains in his abdomen forced him to grit his teeth and dash to Vickers' room. Inside, he found a universal medical chamber. Without hesitation, he activated it and prepared for a self-surgery. Lying down, he was ready to slice open his belly to see what kind of monster was inside. The moment the blade tore through his skin, it was a scene filled with tension. Yet what was scarier was that the machine extracted an unknown mass from his body. The mass then ruptured, transforming into a squid-like monster, leaving him in sheer disbelief. He couldn't possibly care for such a little menace, so he hurriedly locked the monster in the medical pod. He activated the low-temperature mode, hoping to freeze the creature to death, and then he escaped the chamber while enduring excruciating pain. What a thrilling recovery. Meanwhile, a geologist appeared at the ship's entrance in a bizarre posture. What an uninvited guest. Just as the crew approached to investigate, he stood up and punched one of them, then unleashed chaos on the ship. No weapon seemed effective against him. It was like a zombie apocalypse, leaving the crew in grave danger and casualties soaring. In a critical moment, the captain wielded a flamethrower, attempting to turn the tide. In the blazing fire, the geologist finally received his comeuppance, while chaos continued around Sean and the gang. Sean unexpectedly encountered Wayland, the expedition's mastermind, hiding in a secret spot. He wasn't dead. Wayland had been in stasis, and the ship until David's arrival woke him up for everyone to see. Wayland reveals he spent all that money not to explore origins, but to find a way for the engineer to save him. Since this creator could make humans, they surely had ways to extend life. Turns out, the wretcher you are, the more you fear death. Sean realized he was mistaken. The creators weren't what they imagined. There was no life here, only death. Yet Wayland was desperate to survive, so he countered Sean's questioning. Don't you want to ask the creators about the ultimate secret of life? Hearing that there was still an engineer alive, Sean decided to join them to meet the engineer and fulfill Strong Brother's dying wish. Just as he was getting ready to go, the captain suddenly found him, suggesting that this planet might not be the engineer's home, but rather their lab. Those black canisters contain biological weapons. No one's foolish enough to conduct bioexperiments right at their front door. The captain theorized there was a leak during an experiment, leading to escapes and the engineers falling one by one. Now, they just needed to find the living giant to uncover everything. If they found him, they could all leave satisfied. With David's help, Wayland got an operational mechanical suit installed. At that moment, Vickers entered. It turned out Vickers was Wayland's daughter, and their father-daughter relationship had always been tense. She urged her father against the reckless mission, emphasizing that there's no such thing as immortality, he had lived long enough. Whalen was furious, barely giving her a glance, and Vickers left the room in disappointment. Soon, they set out for the ruins again. Just as David said they could remove the masks, Sean still hesitated. He thought Storm Brother mutated due to airborne infection, so no one dared to remove the masks easily. When they arrived at the engineer's storehouse, Sean transmitted the data back to the ship, and the captain was stunned to discover that the whole site was a spaceship. They reached the control room, where David confidently took the pilot's seat and effortlessly manipulated the controls. He mentioned that the engineer had activated the ship before the crisis and added a profound remark to create. One must first destroy. Next, David prepared to awaken the last sleeping engineer from his pod. After 100,000 years, the creator was finally awakened by humanity.